with the sphere because the sphere is the easy one.
It's a very serious thing.
Okay, so think of like a baseball, right? And you look at, there are infinite, it's almost like there's infinitely many circles.
It's a soccer ball and then they give us a baseball.
No.
No, and then it says think of a baseball. Who's ever dissected a baseball?
It works. If you've ever, nobody's ever taken apart a ball? No?
I
I've never taken a ball.
Okay, so here's the thing about surface area of a sphere. It's a really easy formula because all you need to know is the radius. So the radius is from the center to any point on the sphere. So just like the radius of a circle, we have the radius of the sphere. So formula is 4 pi r squared. Again, you're not going to need to memorize it. You just need to be able to apply it. Okay? So
then you need to memorize it.
105, right?
no, the formula is going to be given to you, right?
Oh.
So
Even on the test?
yeah. So if I say find the exact surface area, it's 4 pi. What's the radius? 5. Yeah.
I'm not gonna be here on Thursday. Same. I have to have an extra
Okay, if I say exact surface area, that means
Keep the pie.
keep the pi. So 5 squared is going to be 25. 25 times 4. So it's going to be 100 pi square feet.
Wait, I have a question.
What's your question?
For the next one, do you like to write that by 3 because it's on math?
Yeah, so this is going to be for a hemisphere. What do we have? So picture like
We
a,
have our diameter.
so the diameter is 4, which means the radius is 2. But what do we think? So
Instead of 4 pi r squared, is it 2 pi r?
So it's going to be 4 pi r squared divided by 2. But what else do we have?
The area.
So think about the flat top surface. What's that? What's that shape?
Oh, that's a circle.
The circle. So I'm
We
going
have
to
to
add.
find that too.
Yeah, so basically think of the outside of the bowl and then picture the bowl has a lid.
So that.
So the outside of the bowl would be this. And then picture there's like a lid on top. Well, if you have a bowl, what shape is the lid?
Oh, plus pi.
Plus another pi r squared. So the surface area of a hemisphere is always going to be 3 pi r squared because this would be 2 pi r squared plus another pi r squared would give us 3 pi r squared.
Why are
So
we
I don't
adding
really
another pi r squared? Wait, so that like formula, the 4 pi r squared is just for outside?
So 4 pi r squared is for the outside.
So it's always
Okay,
2 pi r.
again, what did I say we're considering? A bowl with what?
A lid.
A lid on top. What shape is the lid of a bowl?
Circles.
12 pi. That's
So
So
that's
we're
why
adding pi r squared because
Well,
we're finding that and the thing, the bowl.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Can't we just do the 3 pi r squared?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying here. So we have 3 pi.
Or add another pi r squared?
What's that?
Or you could just,
Well,
or you
idea.
could just make it 3 pi r. I was good.
We could just plug into 3 pi r squared because 4 divided by 2 gives us 2. So this is 2 pi r squared plus another pi r squared. So that's going to be 3 pi r squared. So we can always just go right to 3 pi r squared for the surface area of the hemisphere. Okay, so this is the formula
The formula
for the surface area of a hemisphere. Okay, let's simplify. Again, we're looking for exact, so we're going to leave pi and multiply everything else. So 2 squared is 4 times 3 is 12.
12 pi r squared. That sounds really good.
Okay.
That's perfectly fine to me.
All right. Moving on, we're going to combine this with surface area of pyramids and cones. So hopefully so when Mrs. Rotter was explaining what a prism is, did she talk about how like the two bases are congruent and parallel? And then what are all the sides? They're all rectangles. Did you talk about that?
Yeah.
So what happens when we have a pyramid? Do we have two bases here or just one? We just have one base. So the base, you only have one of them, and it's always going to be a polygon. So it could be a square, it could be a rectangle, it could be a pentagon.
Wait, so for this one, you have to find the base, and then you have to do the triangle with the
Yes. So how do we find the area of a triangle?
33.
Base times height divided by 2, or 1/2 base times. So all the lateral faces are triangles. Okay, now this is what we're gonna have to be careful here. Do you see how there's a height that goes right through the middle of the pyramid? And then you see how you have a height of one of those triangles? Which one are we gonna need for surface area? The slanted one, because we're talking, so whenever we talk about surface area, we want the outside. So the altitude will actually be used for volume. So I'm just going to make myself a note. So altitude is used for volume, whereas what we call the slant height is used for surface area.
Well, I don't see where it's there.
Okay, so picture you have a pyramid, and it's the height of one of those triangles. Can you picture that?
Yeah, and then the altitude is just a line like straight down.
Yeah, it goes right through the center. Okay, so here's the formula for the surface area of a regular pyramid. What does capital B stand for? Area of the base. So we're going to take the area of the base plus 1/2 times the perimeter of the base. L is our slant height. Why do you think it's 1/2 perimeter times slant height? What is that doing?
It's a triangle.
It's a triangle, so it's taking all of the triangles. So if we went all the way around, that would be perimeter.
So can you just divide it by 2?
Yeah, you could do that too. So this is just a quick reminder. This is perimeter of the base. And then L, that's what we call slant height.
Oh, B is perimeter base, not
Perimeter of the base. So basically, whatever.
All this is a base.
Yes, all of it is of the base except for the slant height that goes on the outside part of one of the triangles. And yeah, so Amit asked, can we do area of the base plus perimeter times L divided by 2? Yes, same thing, right? Like I know a lot of you prefer base times height divided by 2. I prefer perimeter times slant height divided by 2. Same thing. We good? Again, this formula will be given to you. Okay, we want to find the exact surface area of the pyramid. First thing I recommend, what shape is the base? It's a regular hexagon. What I'm going to do, over on the side, is draw the base. This is my base.
So perimeter is 36.
Yeah, what are each side of the base? 6.
Wait, we're finding the perimeter of the base, is the
Well, both.
area of the base?
We have to do both. Look at my formula. I need to find the area of the base, and I need to find the perimeter of the base.
Wait, but what is 18? Is the one that goes slanted or normal?
That's the one that goes straight down. Thank you.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let's first look at
How it goes down and then
what's perimeter of the base? 36. 6 times 6.
360 divided by 12.
Okay, next, what do we want to do? We want to draw, this is our apothem.
You draw the triangle.
Do we know what measure the angle at the top is going to be?
No.
Yes.
The whole thing is
It's a
18, no?
30, 60, 90.
Oh no.
It is a 30, 60, 90.
Why?
But we could find that by
It
doing.
always is.
Well, by doing 360 divided by 36.
So this angle
No, it's always a 30, 60.
is 360 divided by 2 times 6, right? So why is it 2 times, well, 6 is the number of sides. So 360 divided by 12, 30.
So our apothem is just gonna.
It's the
happen
formula
to
that we
be,
learned in the last chapter.
6. Our apothem is 6.
No. If 6 is all the way, hold on. That means this
Yeah, that's
is 3.
the apothem is
Come on, 30, 60, 90. Is
3
this
root 3.
3 root 3.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do,
And then that is 6.
Okay, and then this would be 6, but
I missed math when square roots weren't involved.
okay, for the area of the base, we need what formula?
Base equals,
If it's a regular polygon, what's the?
1/2 perimeter times apothem.
Good. Or perimeter times apothem divided by 2. Okay,
So the perimeter is
we already found the perimeter was 36.
36
Our
times.
apothem is 3 root.
3, good. Divided by 2.
Is that area of base?
Yeah, that's the area of the base. Capital B stands for area of the base.
Exactly.
So 30, so if we want exact, don't do the root 3, just do,
108 root 3
One-
divided by 2.
okay,
54 root 3.
good. All right, now, what is 18 pointing to? Is that the altitude or the slant height? Altitude,
How do we
Okay.
know?
because it has a
Right.
little line pointing to that.
No, but how do we know which one it is?
because there's a right angle.
Yeah, there's a right angle. So when it goes right to the center, this is our,
Oh, I got 93. Oh.
okay, I'm gonna give you a formula that relates. So here's what I'm gonna do, and you have to kind of visualize this 3-dimensionally. If I draw one slant height here, so I use a cursive L for slant height, and this is a height, and then I'm going to draw this is my apothem. So you have to kind of visualize. You see this? It's a right triangle that goes from the height to the apothem to the slant height. And you just have to use your imagination that there's like a triangle inside of there. What's the relationship between H, A, and L? Think Pythagorean theorem.
Oh, h squared plus
Good.
a squared equals l squared.
Excellent. Okay. This is something we need to know.
It's always that.
It's always that. Always that.
So find
Okay.
What do we do?
Because what are we missing from our formula?
the slant.
The slant height. So do I know A?
18 squared
So it's going to be 18 squared
plus 3 root 3.
plus 3 root 3 squared.
So it's 9.
Well, what's the height, Max? Didn't we just say H was
I thought
18 squared? Okay. 18 squared. Looks like,
3.
what is it?
Is it all 3? Wait.
Oh, did you add it all together?
No. I think it's 3.
So 18 squared plus, if you're going to do 3 root 3, just make sure you put it in parentheses.
Oh no, it's 351.
Yeah, 351. Yeah, because you don't want to just square the square root, you're squaring the whole thing. So just like I put parentheses around. Okay.
No, now it's just square root of 3.
Square root of 351.
And we leave it like that?
We can see if we can make a factor tree out of it.
that's an exact one.
Yeah, so we're gonna do,
And 13 times 27. Oh,
oh, that's fine. You can break down 27 then.
okay. 9 and 3. 9 and 3. So then we have
So we have a pair of 3s, but you can't break those down. So L is going to be 3 root 39.
I don't get that.
Did you do 13 times 3, Sandra?
Okay, that's something we gotta work on.
Did you do 3 times 13? Or I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so you take whatever the pair is, comes outside, and then whatever you have left over, you
Put it
multiply
back.
underneath. Okay, now keep in mind what's our formula. It's area of the base plus perimeter times slant height divided by 2.
Oh, it's still not done.
It's still not done. These are lengthy problems. This is the last step. Is now, do we have all that information to plug in?
Yes.
Yes.
S equals
Okay.
36.
Good. So we already found out B is 36 plus
B is 54.
54 root 3 times,
No. B is 36.
yeah.
No.
I thought B was.
No, B is a 54.
Oh, yeah. You're right. I had it mixed around.
No, I'm right, that makes sense. Okay. Plus 36. And
39 divided by 3.
oh, divided by 2.
No,
No, we're the last.
How do we do that? Only like the last.
So you can't do anything with the 54 root 3. This we can,
12, or no,
so that'll be
108.
108 is 39.
over 2, so that'll be
Oh, 108.
54 root 39. And it's not a very pretty looking answer, but that's exact, right? We're not going to turn it into a decimal.
Is that the whole answer?
And then, yeah, we're just going to put square feet at the end.
Why can't we just add in the 54?
Because the square root is the part that needs to be the same.
Oh, right. Okay.
Unless you're multiplying.
So what's the answer?
If you're multiplying something that's not the square root.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah. Okay. Let's try a cone. That's that example. They're long, so hopefully we can finish and then get a head start on
We
the.
have 19.
Okay. Cone is much easier, just like cylinder is easy. Why? Because the base is always just a circle. Now, we have a height and we have a slant height again. So which one are we going to use for the surface area? The slant height. Okay. So think of this formula the same as the last one. What was the last one? It was area of the base,
Plus
right?
perimeter times.
Plus perimeter times slant height divided by 2. Well, in a cone, right, we have the area of the base, but we don't say perimeter, we say circumference, right? So it's really the same formula, right? Okay.
So that means
So what's the area? So let's take this formula. What's the area of the base? What's the base? It's pi r squared.
Lower?
Yeah. So here, let me break it down like this. Area of the base plus circumference times L divided by 2. So we said this was pi r squared. What's the formula for circumference? 2 pi r times L divided by 2. What do you notice happens in the second part?
The 2 cancel.
The 2's cancel. So we're just left with pi r squared plus pi r L, right? Which is what we got.
So we can just do that instead of
We're just going to do that. So again, the nice thing is you're just plugging right into the formula. You don't have to worry about that whole perimeter times half of them divided by 2. You don't have to like think about it. It's automatically going to be a circle. Okay. And this one we're going to round, so you definitely need your calculators. Okay, what are we given here?
We're giving.
Oh, and let me just write one other thing real fast.
radius.
This is H, this is L. What's the relationship between R, H, and L? Pythagorean theorem. So
We
what?
have a radius.
So it's going to be R squared plus H squared equals L squared. So just a quick reminder, if we're given the height, we can still work backwards to find the radius or slant height. Okay, now what did I give you for example? This is L. And this 4.7 is,
Our radius.
that's our radius.
So 4.7 squared plus
5 times 4.7.
h squared equals 13.6 squared.
Right, so there's my formula. So pi times 4.7 squared plus pi times 13.6, or times,
Isn't it radius? Pi
No,
r
we were doing
squared?
Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah, 0.47.
I thought we were
We
doing
don't need
Pythagorean.
to.
we don't need to, because we had this slant height.
So why didn't
Oh,
you
we
say
don't even
Pythagorean?
need the height for this.
No, I'm just saying sometimes I give you the height and you have to find the slant height. But it was okay. I gave you all the information that you needed. Okay, we could just play, yeah, next. Yeah. Okay, so we have pi times 4.7 squared plus, yeah, you do, it's at the bottom left, times 4.7 times 13.6. Right, we can just plug it all in at once. And we're rounding to one decimal, so
70.2.
270.2.
70.
Much easier than the last one, right?
Just shorter.
Wait, is there a quiz on Wednesday?
I don't remember.
On Thursday.
Because we're going to do review on Wednesday.
Right, we don't have math tomorrow? Oh, yeah.
Because it's Gold Week. Wait, is it Gold Week?
Is that-
Okay. This is
30, 60, 90.
30, 60, 90. And what is 5 referring to?
The radius.
The radius. What do we need? We need the slant height.
So 5 is 3
10.
and 10.
It's 10. Good. Because what would the height be?
5 is 3.
Good.
Oh, 60.
It's a 30, 60, 90. So remember the hypotenuse is 2 times the shorter leg. Okay, so
Why is that?
Pi 5 squared plus pi
what's wrong?
5.
So pi times 5 squared plus pi times 5 times 10. If we had to write this in exact form, this would be 25 pi plus 50 pi. So that would be, what's 25 plus 50?
75.
75. So 75 pi. Let's see what that is. Oops. Did we get 235.6? Oops.
No way we have
What's
a
wrong?
problem.
A grain silo.
Quiz.
So it's a cylinder with a cone on top. So find the
125
surface area.
Divided by 2 is our,
Okay, so what's 125 divided by 2? It's gonna be a decimal.
It is divided by 2. 1. Oh. 1.
So
I have
when?
to do it where it's like menu.
No, you just put a decimal place after dividing by 2.
62.5.
So 62.5.
Wait, this is a cone. Wait, what's
This is a cone.
Oh,
on top of a cylinder. Okay. So we have for a cylinder, do you remember what the formula was? 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. And for a cone, it's pi r squared plus pi r l.
But you're giving stuff.
We add them together.
That's gonna take so long.
No. Just realizing now, I don't think we were given enough information for the cone. We're missing something. Because don't we need this measure, don't we? Okay, I'm gonna make something up. We'll call it 80. So let's say right here, let's just say L is 80. Yeah. Okay. Now, what's happening with, so can we find the surface area of the cylinder and the cone? But we have to take away something. What's happening with the top of the cylinder and the bottom of the cone?
So on my test, can I just make up numbers?
Well, no, because on the test, there's always enough information. I'm just realizing that there wasn't enough information for this example.
Just add random numbers and maybe I'll just get the right. Is this exact or is this rounded?
I am going to.
Exact or raspberry?
No, we're gonna write this in.
No, it is actually. Exact or rounded? Because I need them.
We're gonna round it. Okay, so go ahead and do that. I have to. Okay, so the bottom of the cylinder and the top of the cone are covering each other. So is it part of the outside surface area? No.
14,743.4.
Wait, what's the formula?
I wrote them on the board.
It's a really big number.
It's going to be.
So like
14,740.
Is it 2 pi times?
No, 140,740.
Did I? Wait, is it 2 pi times 6 and 2.5 plus 2 pi times 6 and 2.5 times 200?
Well, I got like 78,000.